Title: Crime as a genre SEASON2. Number of steps: 1. In the dimly lit back alley of the city, Detective Sarah Monroe leaned against the rain-soaked brick wall, her coat collar turned up against the cold drizzle. She had been chasing leads on a string of art thefts that had the city's elite in a frenzy. Priceless paintings had vanished from the city's most prestigious galleries, leaving the police baffled and the art world in turmoil. Sarah's phone buzzed, interrupting her thoughts. It was a message from her partner, Detective James Wilson, who was staked out in a nearby building. Sarah, I've got eyes on the suspect. He's inside the warehouse across the street, the message read. With a determined look, Sarah pushed away from the wall and crossed the street, her footsteps muffled by the rain-soaked pavement. She reached the entrance to the old warehouse and signaled to James, who watched from his vantage point above. Inside, the warehouse was a maze of crates and shadows. Sarah's flashlight pierced the darkness as she moved cautiously, her heart pounding in her chest. The suspect had been one step ahead for weeks, leaving only cryptic clues behind. As she rounded a corner, Sarah found herself face to face with the suspect, a man in his late 40s with a glint of defiance in his eyes. He held a rolled-up canvas in his hand, unmistakably stolen art. Freeze! Sarah shouted, her gun trained on the suspect. But he didn't comply. Instead, he unfurled the canvas, revealing a masterpiece that had been missing for decades. What's the value of art, detective? Can it ever be truly owned? The suspect asked, his voice laced with a mix of arrogance and bitterness. The warehouse seemed to close in around them, the stolen art surrounding them like a gallery of secrets waiting to be uncovered. Sarah knew she had a choice to make, to apprehend the suspect and recover the stolen art or to delve deeper into the enigma of his motives. Number of steps: 2. Sarah's gaze remained fixed on the stolen masterpiece, her thoughts racing. The suspect's question hung in the air, challenging her not just as a detective but as a guardian of art and justice. Value doesn't matter, Sarah replied firmly, her voice unwavering. What matters is that stolen property is returned to its rightful owners. She edged closer to the suspect, her gun steady. He made no sudden moves but continued to study her with a mixture of defiance and curiosity. Your obsession with these paintings has caused nothing but chaos, Sarah continued. It's time to put an end to this. Just as she moved to apprehend the suspect, a hidden door behind him creaked open, revealing a hidden chamber filled with more stolen art. It was a treasure trove of masterpieces, stacked haphazardly as if waiting for someone to uncover their secrets. A commotion from the entrance of the warehouse distracted Sarah. Detective James Wilson burst in, gun drawn, his eyes widening as he took in the sight of the hidden art cache. Sarah, look at this. It's the missing, Dancing with Shadows by Marlowe, James exclaimed, his excitement palpable. The suspect took advantage of the distraction and made a sudden dash for the door, disappearing into the rain-soaked night. Sarah and James exchanged a frustrated glance before Sarah radioed for backup. They couldn't let the suspect slip away again. As they waited for backup to arrive, Sarah examined the recovered art, each piece telling a story of theft and secrecy. The mystery deepened, and she knew they were far from uncovering the full truth. The rain outside continued to pour, a fitting backdrop to the enigmatic world of art theft and the unending pursuit of justice. Number of steps: 3. Backup arrived at the warehouse, and a team of officers began securing the recovered stolen art. Detective Sarah Monroe and her partner, James Wilson, briefed them on the suspect's escape, emphasizing the need to track him down. As the rain outside intensified, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that they were missing a crucial piece of the puzzle. She decided to retrace the suspect's steps, starting with the abandoned hideout. Inside the hidden chamber, Sarah examined the stolen art more closely. It was a veritable museum of lost treasures, including works by renowned artists that had been missing for decades. She noticed something peculiar about the arrangement of the paintings. They seemed to be organized in a deliberate sequence. James, take a look at this, Sarah called out to her partner. James joined her, his curiosity piqued. What do you see? Sarah pointed to the paintings. The way these artworks are positioned, it's not random. It's like they're telling a story. They studied the paintings, moving from one to the next, trying to decipher the narrative woven through the stolen art. Each piece seemed to offer a clue, a piece of the larger puzzle. It's as if the suspect wanted us to find this, James mused. Or wanted to send a message, Sarah added. But what message? What's the connection between these paintings? Their discussion was interrupted by the arrival of a forensic team, who began examining the chamber for fingerprints and any other potential evidence. Sarah and James stepped back, allowing the experts to work. Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the brink of a breakthrough, but they needed more information to piece together the suspect's motive and ultimate goal. As they left the warehouse, the rain had finally stopped, leaving behind glistening streets and a city waiting for answers. Sarah knew they had to dig deeper into the stolen art's hidden narrative to unravel the mystery at the heart of this case. Number of steps 4. The investigation into the stolen art took an intriguing turn as Detective Sarah Monroe and Detective James Wilson decided to delve into the hidden narrative within the paintings. They enlisted the help of an art historian, Dr. Emily Green, to decipher the messages concealed within the stolen masterpieces. Dr. Green examined each painting carefully, her eyes gleaming with excitement. These artworks, when arranged in the specific sequence, seem to tell a story, she explained. It's as if they're guiding us on a journey. Sarah and James leaned in, eager to hear more. It starts with The Enigma, by Petrov, depicting a mysterious figure in a shadowy alley, Dr. Green continued. Next is The Heist, by Marlowe, showing a group of masked individuals stealing a priceless artifact. Then comes The Pursuit, by Rodriguez, where the thieves are being chased through a labyrinthine cityscape. She paused, studying the paintings thoughtfully. It's a narrative of a grand heist, but the final piece, The Revelation, by Van der Bos, is missing. It's as if the story has been left incomplete. Sarah furrowed her brow. The suspect is trying to convey something through these paintings, but what? James chimed in, and why lead us to the story in the first place? The trio pondered the significance of the missing painting and the cryptic message the suspect was trying to send. They knew they needed to find the revelation to complete the narrative and potentially uncover the motive behind the art thefts. As they left the art warehouse, Sarah received a call from an informant. It was a lead on the whereabouts of the revelation, and it pointed to an art collector with a questionable reputation. With determination in her eyes, Sarah turned to her partner and Dr. Green. Let's pay this collector a visit. We might just find the missing piece of this puzzle. The rain had given way to a clear evening, but the mystery surrounding the stolen art only deepened. The city held secrets within its shadows, waiting for detectives and art historians to unveil the truth hidden within the paintings. Number of steps 5. The address from the informant led Detective Sarah Monroe, Detective James Wilson, and Dr. Emily Green to a luxurious penthouse overlooking the city. It was owned by the eccentric art collector, Victor Hellstrom, a man with a reputation for acquiring rare and often controversial artworks. As they stepped out of the elevator onto the penthouse floor, they were greeted by an opulent display of sculptures and paintings from various eras. It was clear that Victor Hellstrom's obsession with art knew no bounds. The detectives approached a gallery that seemed to hold the missing piece, The Revelation, by Van der Bos. But the painting was encased in bulletproof glass, surrounded by laser security systems. It was a fortress designed to protect this valuable artwork. Victor Hellstrom, a middle-aged man with an air of arrogance, appeared from the shadows, a glass of wine in hand. Detectives, what brings you to my humble abode? He purred, eyeing them with curiosity. Sarah wasted no time. We're here about the revelation. We believe it may have been acquired through illicit means. Victor chuckled, swirling his wine glass. Ah, you're referring to that old painting. It's quite an exquisite piece, wouldn't you agree? But I assure you, Detective Monroe, all my acquisitions are perfectly legal. James, ever observant, noticed a glint of unease in Victor's eyes. We'd like to examine the painting, just to verify its authenticity. Victor's composure wavered for a moment before he reluctantly nodded. Very well, but I must insist you do it under my supervision. As Dr. Green examined the artwork, Sarah and James exchanged knowing glances. There was something about the painting, something hidden beneath the surface, and they needed to find out what it was. Dr. Green gently touched the canvas, her fingers tracing the brushstrokes. This is indeed The Revelation by Van der Bos, but there's something unusual about it. Victor's demeanor shifted from smugness to concern. Unusual. What do you mean? The art historian continued her examination, revealing a hidden compartment behind the painting. Inside, they found a small ledger filled with cryptic notes and codes. Sarah's heart raced. This was the break they needed. But what secrets did this ledger hold, and how did it relate to the stolen art and the suspect's cryptic narrative? As they left Victor Hellstrom's penthouse with the ledger in hand, the night sky darkened, casting a shadow over their investigation. The missing piece of the puzzle was within their grasp, but they had only scratched the surface of a much larger mystery. Number of steps 6. Back at the precinct, Detective Sarah Monroe, Detective James Wilson, and Dr. Emily Green gathered around a cluttered table, the small ledger from Victor Hellstrom's penthouse laid out before them. It was filled with cryptic notes, symbols, and codes that hinted at a hidden world of intrigue. Sarah's fingers traced the markings on the pages. This ledger may hold the key to unraveling the suspect's motive. But we need to decode it. Dr. Green, her eyes sparkling with excitement, leaned in closer to examine the symbols. These symbols resemble an old cipher used by secret societies in the art world. It's called the Painter's Code. James furrowed his brow. Can you decipher it, Emily? Dr. Green nodded. I'll need some time, but I believe I can crack this code. As the art historian set to work, Sarah and James began retracing their steps, reviewing the stolen paintings and the narrative they formed. It was clear that each piece held a clue, and the revelation was meant to complete the story. Hours turned into days as Dr. Green worked tirelessly to decode the ledger, while Sarah and James pursued leads in the art world. They discovered that Victor Hellstrom had connections to a shadowy group known as the Art Illuminati, rumored to be involved in art thefts and forgeries. One evening, as rain once again drummed against the windows of the precinct, Dr. Green called out excitedly, "I've cracked it." The ledger reveals a list of stolen art, but it also points to a hidden location. The location was a dilapidated building on the outskirts of the city, marked as the Gallery of Shadows in the ledger. It was a place that had been abandoned for years, and Sarah suspected it held the missing piece of the revelation and the answers to the mystery. Under the cover of darkness, they arrived at the gallery. The building was a labyrinth of hidden passages, secret chambers, and concealed artworks, each revealing a piece of the suspect's grand narrative. At last, they found The Revelation by Van der Bos, completing the sequence. But there was more to discover. The suspect's motive and identity remained shrouded in mystery. As they stood before the painting, Sarah knew they were on the brink of a revelation that would change the course of their investigation. The rain outside ceased, leaving behind a sense of anticipation in the air. Number of steps 7. As Detective Sarah Monroe, Detective James Wilson, and Dr. Emily Green stood before The Revelation by Van der Bos in the dimly lit Gallery of Shadows, they couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation. This painting had been the missing piece of the puzzle, and now it was finally in their grasp. Sarah examined the artwork, searching for any hidden clues or messages within its intricate details. The rain outside had given way to a moonlit night, casting an eerie glow over the gallery. Dr. Green leaned in closer, her eyes scanning the painting. This is a remarkable work of art, but I believe there's more to it than meets the eye. James chimed in. The suspect's narrative began with the enigma, followed by the heist and the pursuit. Now, the revelation completes the story. But what does it reveal? As they studied the painting, they noticed subtle connections between the artworks. The mysterious figure from the enigma appeared to be the same character involved in the heist and being chased in the pursuit. And in the revelation, this character was depicted in a moment of revelation, standing before an open book. Sarah's instincts kicked in. The suspect isn't just stealing art, they're recreating a story through these paintings. But what story, and why? Dr. Green, always attuned to art symbolism, pointed to the open book in The Revelation. The book could be a metaphor for knowledge or a hidden message. We need to find out what it represents. The detectives and the art historian meticulously examined every inch of the revelation, looking for any hidden markings or messages. Sarah's fingers brushed against the canvas, and she felt a subtle indentation. She followed it, revealing a concealed compartment within the frame. Inside, they found a small leather-bound journal with handwritten notes. It was a personal account of the suspect, detailing their obsession with the art world, their mission to recreate the narrative, and their belief that only through art could the truth be revealed. The last entry in the journal sent a chill down Sarah's spine. It read, "The final chapter awaits at the Gallery of Shadows, where truth and justice shall be unveiled." With this new lead, they returned to the precinct, determined to confront Victor Hellstrom and uncover the full extent of the art Illuminati's involvement in the stolen art and the suspect's motive. But as they closed in on the truth, they knew they were racing against time. The rain had stopped, and the moon hung low in the night sky, casting long shadows over their investigation. Number of steps 8. The interrogation room was dimly lit, with a single table between Detective Sarah Monroe, Detective James Wilson, and Victor Hellstrom. The art collector sat with an air of defiance, his expression unreadable. Sarah placed the journal they had discovered from the revelation in front of Victor. "Mr. Hellstrom, we know about your involvement with the art Illuminati, and we know that these stolen paintings are part of a larger narrative. What is it that you are trying to reveal?" Victor's gaze flickered to the journal but remained silent. It was clear he was unwilling to share information willingly. James leaned forward, his tone stern. "The journal we found is filled with your writings about this grand narrative. You believe that through art, truth and justice will be unveiled. We need to understand your motive." After a tense pause, Victor finally spoke. "You think you can comprehend the magnitude of this narrative? It's not just about the stolen art. It's about exposing the corruption that runs deep within the art world and beyond." Sarah pressed further. "Corruption? What are you talking about?" Victor's voice grew more animated. "The art Illuminati, they manipulate the art market, laundering money through priceless artworks. The stolen paintings were a way to disrupt their operation, to expose their secrets." Dr. Emily Green, who had been quietly observing, interjected, "But why this narrative? Why involve these specific artworks?" Victor's eyes bored into hers. Each painting held a piece of the puzzle, but the revelation was the key. "It's a manifesto, a declaration that the truth would be found here, in this gallery." As the interrogation continued, Victor Hellstrom revealed more about the inner workings of the art Illuminati, their connections to high-profile individuals, and their ability to manipulate the art market for their own gain. He explained that he had been part of the organization but had grown disillusioned and sought to expose their corruption. The detectives knew they had stumbled upon a dangerous web of secrets that extended beyond the stolen art. The art Illuminati's influence reached far and wide, and the pursuit of justice was far from over. As they left the interrogation room, Sarah, James, and Dr. Green couldn't help but feel that they were standing on the precipice of a revelation that would shake the art world to its core. The moon cast a silvery glow over the city, illuminating the path ahead. The final chapter of this complex narrative was yet to be written, and they were determined to uncover the truth, no matter how deep the shadows went. Number of steps 9. With Victor Hellstrom's revelations about the art Illuminati and their manipulation of the art world, Detective Sarah Monroe, Detective James Wilson, and Dr. Emily Green knew they were on the cusp of a major breakthrough. The hidden world of corruption and deceit within the art market was about to be exposed. They worked tirelessly, gathering evidence and connecting the dots between the stolen art, the suspects, and the influential figures involved in the art Illuminati. It was a dangerous game, and they knew they were treading on the toes of powerful individuals. One evening, as they pored over the evidence in their cramped office, Sarah received an anonymous tip. It was a cryptic message hinting at a secret meeting of the art Illuminati, scheduled to take place at an exclusive art gala. The gala was a glittering affair, attended by the city's elite. Sarah, James, and Emily posed as attendees, their eyes scanning the room for any sign of the suspects. It was a high-stakes game of cat and mouse, and they couldn't afford to make a wrong move. As the evening wore on, they spotted Victor Hellstrom among the guests, engaged in hushed conversations with powerful art collectors. It was clear that the suspects were using the gala as a cover for their illicit dealings. Sarah and James moved closer, eavesdropping on the conversations. They gathered snippets of information about the next art heist planned by the art Illuminati. But just as they were about to make their move, Emily alerted them to something else. A familiar painting was on display at the gala, a stolen masterpiece from the previous heists. Their cover was blown, and chaos ensued as the suspects realized they were being watched. A high-stakes chase through the gala ensued, with the detectives pursuing the suspects through the opulent venue. Amid the commotion, Victor Hellstrom was cornered, and he finally revealed the identity of the mastermind behind the art Illuminati, an influential billionaire with a dark obsession for art and power. As the suspects were apprehended, the stolen masterpiece was recovered once again, marking a major victory for justice. But the battle against corruption was far from over. In the aftermath of the gala, Sarah, James, and Emily reflected on the tangled web of power and greed they had unraveled. The rain outside had stopped, leaving behind a city that held both beauty and darkness in its heart. Number of steps 10. Detective Sarah Monroe, Detective James Wilson, and Dr. Emily Green continued their relentless pursuit of the truth behind the art Illuminati and the stolen art. They uncovered a web of corruption that reached into the highest echelons of society, and they were determined to bring the culprits to justice. The investigation led to arrests, exposing the extent of the art Illuminati's influence and bringing down those who had manipulated the art world for their own gain. The stolen paintings were returned to their rightful owners, and the art market underwent a transformation as transparency and accountability became the norm. But the ultimate revelation lay not in the recovery of stolen art, but in the exposure of a hidden world of power, greed, and manipulation. The suspects faced justice, and the art world began to heal. As they stood before a restored gallery filled with priceless artworks, Sarah, James, and Emily couldn't help but reflect on the journey that had brought them here. The rain had stopped, and the city's skyline sparkled in the night. And so, Crime as a Genre Season 2 inches came to a close, but the world of crime and mystery continued to evolve. Stay tuned for Crime as a Genre Season 3, where new mysteries, complex characters, and intriguing narratives await. The genre of crime fiction would once again unfold its dark and enigmatic pages, drawing us into a world where justice is pursued, secrets are uncovered, and the human psyche is explored.